we need reform to make sure that each step of the way we are adopting the correct methods of creating wealth that makes socialism attractive, so that socialism can occur, can happen. You can't have socialism without prosperity.
Food on the table. Professor, since 1978, it's striking and kind of an ostensible observation that China, whatever it calls itself, an autocracy, socialism, non-democracy, it's been dogged in democratizing talents. Paradoxically, many democracies around the world have not done a good job in democratizing talent. I mean, China has been a lot more visible in selecting talent more based on meritocracy as opposed to loyalty and or patronage. What's your view on this? The juxtaposition between an autocracy like China that's been able to better democratize talents versus democracies around the world that have not been doing as good a job in democratizing talent.
If you're neutral in using these political terms and not taking sides, I think you'll have to say that both democracy and autocracy are different ways of trying to build a better society for the people to have a more stable, harmonious, and successful and prosperous lives. Both of them have the same goal. One is using democratic methods, the other is autocratic method. Less control, more freedom, less freedom. But they're both meant to build a better society. So if you start with that, no biases, start with that,
sure.
Then I think the major difference, in my view, is that how do you make sure of the succession system, in the system, to make sure that the succession produces the same results one generation after another, continue to do that. And what happened is that in the whole of history, political systems have had to face this problem of succession. And in ancient times, the tribal leaders usually pass it on to his son. That's one alternative. The other alternative is to pass it on to the next brave, strongest man in the tribe. Then he has to prove that he's the strongest man by having to kill all the others less strong. So you have a succession problem which is violent. The strongest man wins, or the most popular man wins, or pass it on to your son, no arguments. My elder son is my heir apparent. His son will be his apparent, and then you create a dynastic system. You look around the whole of world history. For 90% of world history, systems of succession have been based on dynastic succession, father to the son, because it avoids a lot of problems. You don't have to argue. I'm the king, the next king is my son. So you don't have the problem. So you solve the problem of succession. So if I'm autocratic, I can remain autocratic, but I have to demonstrate that I care for the people and I can provide the people with good governance. Because otherwise, you won't accept my son. If I'm a bad ruler, you won't even accept my son. If I'm a good ruler, you accept my son and go on and my grandson and so on. Until one of them is a bad ruler, then you throw him out. Then the people have the right to rebel. This is Mencius, right? He said it long ago. People have the right to rebel against bad emperors. And when they rebel and they produce a new emperor with a new mandate, the mandate of heaven, a new mandate. So that is already sort of built into the system.